My fellow Ambazonians, according to cafe, una good evening for all una. I salute all una. I greet all una. I send blessings for all una. Una welcome for this our podcast for today. Today big story day for compound. I got a couple of big things then for talk for all una. So as you don't join this discussion for today, invite other people that can join me for here. I know so nobody expect me. All right. So I greet and I salute all una. Would you talk for pidgin? I will be speaking in pidgin. All right. So as you don't join, invite other people then. Una can hear story day. All right. Today story day. All right. Better story day. Yes. Better story day. Yes. Better story day. I go bring una story inside the story. So better story day. Invite all mama they can join me. We will start very soon. All right. Make we also invite other people. Who they talk to me and notify them when they live. Better story day. So as una join, una invite other people then. May they can join the conversation. May they can join the discussion. Make all man come. Make us sweet una heart. Yes. Make all man come. Make us sweet hearts. Make us give una the inside story. Right? Una come well, oh my people. Una come well. Una come well. Una come well. So, all right, we'll start. Una just give me a moment here. We'll make sure say people they know. Say we dey live. A couple of people for notified people. So, a fellow Ambazonia to come well. Good times. Good times. Liberation is sweet. All right. Again, make officially welcome all una. And I want time when I plenty say when I don't take the time for joining for this evening for number 3 day for the month of August for 2022. We already reach the month of August. If you believe it, time to fly. The year they go by very fast. Now August this, we already enter inside. And for this part of the world, when summertime, August, now the last month before we start for enter for where school will start next month. So summer they almost can't finish. Anybody never enjoy summer. Abeko, take your time, enjoy your summer. If you never take holiday, go take small time. Go 1 week holiday, 2 days holiday. Take your family. When I go spend small holiday time. Somebody can't finish for this part. Small time, go come. Man will wear t-shirt again. All right. All money place day. I salute una. I be una brother Asu. When the press secretary for the executive office for Ambazonia Governing Council. I get a couple of things that would be very important. I want bring the inside discussion of which it don't really happen over the last few days. And why you forget confidence. So the ADF, it could deliver on independence. All right. So number one, I will talk about the battle where it take place between the Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Cameroon military, the Cameroon Special Forces. I will take una enter for that discussion. I will also talk about what did happen inside Cameroon, and I will bring una the discussion on what did happen within the Ambazonian liberation struggle, and why sometimes when they see some kind of confusion when they see them for outside there, and what you need for expect them, and what you need for prepare una minds for. All right. I will also address a couple of groups. I will also call a few names. But the most important thing I want to tell una what it go on. As all una know, over the last before today, the last 3 days before today, right? The Cameroon military, the fact say Cameroon, it don't the collapse. Cameroon be in chaos. Cameroon get political uncertainty because of the Ambazonian liberation struggle, because of the strategy where we put them down. And that strategy not been only for weaken and delegitimize Cameroon inside Ambazonia. Not been only for make Cameroon lose control and power within the occupied territory of Ambazonia. But that strategy now for make sure so we scatter La République du Cameroun. We scatter them politically, we scatter them economically, we scatter them socially, we scatter them culturally. And when I don't see the effects, as Mr. Macron, he go for inside La République du Cameroun for visit the colonial head of state and the Cameroon government people then. When I see the disgrace, we not been only poor Bia face am, but when I see the disgrace where the Cameroon government face am, a small young man, where if he be like poor Bia a grand Pekin, is lecture the people of Cameroon. He show up now, he take control. You see the uselessness. You see Dion Gute in meeting with Macron. You feel sorry for a colonial prime minister. You see Paul Biya on stage with Mr. Macron. You see the effects of the Ambazonian defeat of Biya and the Cameroon system. You see how humiliating it be. How all this one relate to Ambazonia. It get everything to do with Ambazonia. Macron a visit for inside La République du Cameroun. It get everything to do with Ambazonia. Because of the Ambazonian strategy, because of Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon, they need reassurance from France. They need France for can reassure them. Say as the country they collapse and they fall, and they don't get a process for which it will be the future of Cameroon. For the last 40 years, they don't make all sort of promises to the Cameroonese. Not Paul Biya and the regime not live up to 1% of all the promises which they don't make them for their people then. So now, at the end of Mr. Biya life, as soon as I see him, the man here again, all right, the brain don't degenerate, all right. At the end of Mr. Biya life, there is no clear path for who will be next in terms of the line of governance. So they need Macron, may can assure them of political stability because of the Ambazonian defeat. Because Ambazonian defeat of Cameroon, it create economic blackout for Cameroon. It deplete Cameroon financially. It bankrupt them diplomatically. They need reassurance. And when I see the disgrace, now the most shameful time this for any person for call himself or herself a Cameroonian. Wetin Paul Biya don't do for the Cameroonian people. This generation of Cameroonians, now the most shameful time for any person, whether you dey abroad or you dey inside the Cameroon territory, for you for call yourself a Cameroonian. The name Cameroon now is stain to humanity. The Cameroon green, red, yellow flag, it represents evil, blood, genocide, occupation, massacre. So any person where they carry that flag and you call yourself a Cameroonian, you be a stain to humanity. Because of wetin una government don't do am for una. Because of wetin una government, wetin una allow una government. Not be only for the genocide they commit for Ambazonia, not be only for the human rights crimes then where they commit them for Ambazonia, but all of those things, because una accept them, una be a stain to humanity. So when they look for the Cameroonian people, then they look for an escape, a reassurance through France because of Ambazonia. Now, why they send General Buba, the Malam, the Awusa Pokok man. Why they bring him for Bamenda? We already explained that for una. They not bring him for Bamenda because he gets some mystical powers for fight war. They not bring General Buba for Ambazonia. Now because he gets some special training there, and he gets some special skills, and he be some kind King Kong for fight war. Now a political move. First of all, if you see the man, he did like a drunkard. He looks sick. He look weak. So psychologically, the man no did it. So they just bring a person who is supposed to don't retire. A grandpa who is supposed to don't retire. Now a political move where Cameroon take Buba from fighting Boko Haram for bringing for the Northwest and Southwest for lead the war for the and for take General Valerie Nka, send it back for Yaoundé. Why? Because they expect political turmoil. They expect a political uprising as they plan for install Emmanuel Macron. For install Frank Biya for replace Ipapa. They know they say General Valerie Nka, he go bring all, now he go control the military. They no one make Buba remain for the northern Cameroon, because if he remain there as for the northern Cameroon as the general, he go use those special forces. He go use the army where they under a control and for cut the northern Cameroon from the other part of Cameroon. That's why the movie. I hope so you understand. So now they don't bring you inside to Ambazonia. Me can do it. Oh, they don't bring you, me can fight war. Which war? The Americans, they tried this thing for Vietnam, they lost them. They tried for Afghanistan after 20 years with $4 trillion and more than 700,000 forces from 42 countries. The Americans and all their allies, with a made up of 42 countries and their own special forces. And after spending $4 trillion in 20 years, the Afghan people, they still defeat mighty America and 42 other countries combined. In 20 years, they still defeat them. America triumphed for Iraq. They still lost the war. They spent more than $2 trillion. They go for Libya. They get a disaster. They spend more than $1 trillion. No country never ever win this kind of war. So if the most advanced nations, the one where they get the most sophisticated technology, the one where they get the most elite of elite forces with the most superior weapons, if they never ever fit for defeat people where they stand on their nationalism, then will be primitive Cameroon, a country where they still live in cave. Talk again. If the most advanced nations, 42 of them combined, including the almighty America, with all its technological superpower and money and military expertise, whether they be the best of the best in the world, if they never ever win this kind of war and they get the most superior weapons, the most precision weapons, where if you take only phone, they draw weapon, they drop off for some place, may scatter place. If they never ever stay for win any of this kind of war, then Cameroon, we are the most primitive country where the people they still live for cave. The most backward and a country where they still live for darkness. Now them, they will can't defeat a superior people of Ambazonia. So Usa man come out. We even talk for mop in all day. You want can fight the bravest generation. Tell me, an Hausa man, Malam, pok pok, even talk for mop in all day. Now you want can fight the bravest generation inside their own land. Valerie Inca, we don't civilize more. It triumph, wait it happen. He understand who owns the land. So, Cameroon understand what they face. They face a lion, where they call it say Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba. Cameroon understand what they face. They face a lion, where they call it say Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba. Now Dr. Ayaba declare self-defense. Now he carry foot, fly, pass bush road, enter inside the Ambazonian territory, and invoke the right of self-defense. Cameroon understand what they face. They know say this man don't prepare himself for the last 30 years, and maybe they wait for the opportunity. The man don't train himself, prepare, both physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, technologically, and educationally, in terms of liberation expertise, in terms of liberation knowledge. The man don't study all kind of liberation them. And he be able for design a strategy based on all the studies and compilation we don't make up about how to fight this kind of war and how to defeat the enemy. Dr. Ababide, one of the only Ambazonians, where he don't take all the Cameroon constitutions them, he study them page by page by page by page by page. Be the only, one of the only Ambazonians. We don't take the entire, all the Cameroon constitution, even if they don't make an amendment. Dr. Babu, one of those people then. Because he want to understand the state. He want to understand the colonial system. That's why I decided for go study liberation psychology. For prepare for this moment. So Cameroon understand what they face. Cameroon need to face now an agitative leader. Cameroon need to face a leader we call the people they made go for streets with branches and made go for chief palace for go hoist the flag. Cameroon the face na a man we know say the language of the occupier na papa. Cameroon no see the face a man. We don't study both Ayijo and Bia and the collective Cameroon system and how they respond when people they rise up. Cameroon understand that one. They know the man with the face up. So when the Ambazonia Defense Forces Supreme Commander General Efam, he sent out a message to the Ambazonian people. He tell the Ambazonian people, say, they think for call a national security lockdown, and they explain them for the Ambazonian people their objectives. Cameroon panic. Cameroon panic. Because they know the consequences. Yaoundé panic. The colonial elites, they panic. Because they know the consequences. Because the ADF they never call for a lockdown. General F never call for a lockdown. So immediately Cameroon shake. I could bring more to that story. So Cameroon shake. But before then, as some information already be for outside. A lot be the go on, and a lot be still go on. We are not fit talking for now. But there's a reason why the ADF if one lock down the territory. There's a reason. Things the day where they be need for doam for una. Things the day where they be need for doam for show la Republic something. And they be need the territory may be locked so that Cameroon of come up from one place to the next. I don't go any further. You don't understand what I mean. They be need for lock down the territory because Cameroon the height within the population for move their troops in. So when you lock the territory, you bunker Cameroon for places where they hide there. They not move. Now we understand what is supposed to happen. So Cameroon understand this game. Cameroon panic. What did Cameroon do? Cameroon immediately activate all their proxy groups that they don't create within Ambazonian liberation. Immediately activate all their proxy groups them. We don't create within the Ambazonian liberation. The one who they don't fool for the last 5 years. We know where to be. I'll come into that. But so immediately Cameroon understand the game. Cameroon launch a preemptive attack just before the lockdown start. Because the counterintelligence, right? The counterintelligence. Cameroon launched a preemptive strike because there be no way to be the camp. Enough would be very good for Cameroon. Okay? There be no way to the camp. So counterintelligence, this man Buba, he want to show say, now he be the new boss for control the occupation forces. So he mobilize all the beat them. Because not only the beat them, they fight war. The police, the army, and the gendarme, they only did for gather intelligence. Now the day inside combat. The army, the police, and the gendarme, those one are local, peripheral forces, where their goal now for gather intelligence and then the be a strike. So this man Buba, he gather all the beat them. The force, the Cameroon most elite force, when they fight the war, he gathered all them, 2,000 of them, for invade the Ambazonian Defense Forces headquarters. Because their goal, they know say Ambazonian Defense Forces are the core of the resistance on the ground. Because all the other one, they are peripheral satellite forces them. Without the core, everything else collapse. They understand. Say ADF now the core of Ambazonian nationalism in terms of the liberation, in terms of the defense. ADF now the leadership defense on the ground, where it give every other force that belief, that confidence. Say if anything happen, they know say the core is strong. They know say the heart of the resistance is strong. So that's why. So can we understand? They bring all these 2,000 forces and strike ADF headquarters. Unfortunately for Buba and the 2,000 Cameroon beat them when they send them for Batibo. Unfortunately for them. As we already tell you now, Weti ADF don't build them. Weti General Efan, he don't spend the last few months, as we tell you now, for build them for the Ambazonian people then. Cameroon go taste that. 2,000 bees 3 days of non-stop battle. 3 days, non-stop fighting. 2,000 bees. They invade ADF. They try for penetrate, for invade ADF headquarters. Because they know, say, if they capture that headquarters, they push ADF out, and they end up for the resistance on the ground. Cameroon will proclaim victory. Cameroon will proclaim victory. Say they don't defeat Ambazonia. Now they go that. General Buba Igo. Now for capture ADF headquarters and then proclaim Cameroon victory against Ambazonia. And that one will be their core goal. They go taste danger. They go taste danger. They go taste what they call and say ADF. They go taste what they call and say headquarters. They taste danger. After 3 days of fighting, they confirm who be ADF. 2,000 forces, the most elite Cameroon forces, they not be fit for penetrate and for invade ADF headquarters. After 3 days, we lost 11 warriors for that battle. We lost 11 brave warriors for that battle. The Ambazonian Defense Forces, they inflict the most significant damage to the bee. Now, helicopter after helicopter, they can't pick their dead body. They can't carry their dead body. Make we read the message where Dr. Show Lucas Ayaba, the leader of War of Independence. Make we read the message where he wrote yesterday about what we discussed today. When I hear, it talks for the last 72 hours, Cameroon sent 2,000 forces for our military headquarters. They will succeed for kill 11 of our brave soldiers. 4 helicopter trips, 4 times where helicopter come for can carry their dead body them. It talks they come and they confirm, say an opposite, but a superior army will meet up on. It talks as La République du Cameroun, they finally run the fight. Make them know say the ADF is still hold position. And the Ambazonian flag, it is still fly very high for ADF headquarters. So the one, and the message that way, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba is sent them to the international community for inform them about ADF defeat of La République 2000 BDM, and how we send the first message for General Buba for telling you who be the boss of the land, for telling the people them where they get the land, for telling the authority where they control the land. It don't come taste time. Now, General Efang don't put out a message today for all now. Make a bring the message with General Efang. He send them out to the Ambazonian people them today, and they will continue the conversation. We're gonna listen and then we'll continue.
Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. At the talk for now, this one na the Supreme Commander of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. At the talk for now for the capital city for Momo. In the past days, the forces under my leadership done the battle with the enemy military for La Republique. Cameroon sent 2,000 men for inside Momo for fight us. For 3 days, we don't battle with them and we don't defeat them. We lost 11 men, but they lost more than 20 of their own. Their helicopters have been run 3 times for carry their dead body because they not be fit use through roads or drive because we don't secure all those roads them. We want make La Republique know say they be calm and they be siam and they be meet up another army and where they defend motherland Ambazonia. We now don't escape, but we still dey. And we do want make una know say the next time una will come, we go carry una dead them na inside back. Na me, General Efang, the assure una. Fellow Ambazonians, I hear say them they celebrate how they send 2,000 of their best soldiers them, and then they kaki only 11 of my picking them, and then they celebrate. I want una know say we get an army where they defend Ambazonia until we go push una terrorist military out of our country. In the past few hours, our forces be there on the Santa Akum highway for sure the enemy say we be in charge for our country. Ambazonia must know say we dey at war. We all na army, no civilian no dey, and no army in no dey. We all na volunteer soldiers them. All those the way they complain about their crops and their farm houses must know say the people where they carry gun to, they get crops, they get farm, and they get houses. They don't even get single day for rest. They did mount their posts, they defend their country. Now so we get for fight, now so we win the war. I will also send a strong warning for all the commanders on ground with their work, especially the one day for Kondingi, where they undermine and trying for destabilize the Ambazonian Defense Forces. There's the way they fit attack the ADF and go free. It don't come to an end. Commanders on ground, if you touch an ADF soldier anywhere, you touch an ADF soldier everywhere. There's the way if you touch an ADF soldier and then you go free, you don't come to an end. La Republique don't remove General Carr who will defeat it. I don't bring Buba. Maybe you know even go back by sitting, but he go na inside cover. Ambazonian today, no be na the Ambazonian for yesterday. The Ambazonian Defense Forces be more stronger, more organized, more equipped, and if we fight for 72 hours, no stop. And we even fight for 1 month. Not even for defend our block, but for make sure see the enemy be defeated once and for all. Fellow Ambazonians, na war. And we all must prepare for become soldiers. The people where they don't die, they no fit die in vain. And the one where they die for prison, their liberty no fit go in vain. We must make sure say we stop for the complaint. Remember, Mandela, he be for prison for 27 years. South Africa fight for close to 75 years. Eritrea fight for close to 30 years. We don't be 5 years inside this war. And we the soldiers, we don't defeat La Republic Cameroon big time. And civilians, we are not to undermine this war. We need to step up, join the forces, so that we put an end for La Republic, for our country once and for all. First, na the land. We fight for liberate the land, so that people will get a better place for do anything where they want. If we not put the people first, the land will remain for the hands of the enemy them. And now them will make the laws them and do everything for our behalf. We must all rally for defend the land, free the land for the hands of the occupier, and then give our people the opportunity for build. Short live the struggle.
Supreme, your place day. General Efan, Ambazonia don't get many generals. Some they don't do their own part. Any man don't play own part. A few they don't come, where they make an impact. And General Efan impact be very unique. You know, if you compare them with any other person. I been talk with somebody today who called me today. He said, "Oh, if General Efan be the fight na so, if the fight na so." Now I ask you, say, you know the reason why they create the ADF? He said, no. I said, you think say they only create the ADF not just for fight La Republic? They create the ADF now for start for take back the territory. Killing La Republic soldiers now only 20% of the strategy. Killing La Republic police now only 20% of the strategy. The liberation not be not only about killing La Republique du Cameroun police, army or gendarme or B. Killing La Republique occupation forces now only 20% of the strategy. The overall strategy now for dismantle Cameroon occupational governance apparatus. So, General Efan, as they create the army, with a National Liberation Army, ADF, not being a regular force, now an army, now a National Liberation Army, under a direct political leadership. Okay? Under a direct political leadership with a mandate to liberate the land. So what did General Efan do? Now for start for carve the Ambazonian territory, push the enemy out, and then fill that space. Not be enough for push the enemy out, and then you run. The enemy will still remain for that same place. You only go disturb you run. That's why the ADF strategy be very different from any other group. We will not think say they say the war just be based now on action. Because according to Una, the war don't become a movie with soldiers they're supposed to entertain Una. No. You push La Republic to Cameroon out, you occupy the space so that nothing take back that space. Now it's in that general Fanon do one. Now the assignment that. So that's why La Republique, it panic. La Republique and all their small proxy groups them, where they don't create them for outside here, with all their activists, they don't recruit them. Okay? Including the one where they shout every single day. They not fit defeat Ambazonia. They not fit ever defeat we. We don't useless them. What happen with the first proxy group where La Republique create them? We all wanna be the shout. What happen with that one? What happen with the second proxy group? We're in the name of a government. Because they create them and for destroy the liberation. As I don't explain it for una, no need for go there today. Because today I get a different message from una. What happened with the third one? Nothing. They don't become as useless as toilet paper. Where you don't take and you wipe the last day. They only use so you get them for flushing. So that's why when I see all this agitation, not because people they can't deceive all una. Say they don't create una something, but they don't create nothing. And after 5 years, themselves they don't know place where they stand. They don't know place where they fit talk now. That's why when I see all this agitation. That's why when I see all this noise. All the noise be based on fear. Alright? The noise be based on fear. Now Cameroon they create this fear through these people. For make una feel say the world need to go on fine. For make una feel say they say things that need to happen. For make una feel say we'll be divided. Ambazonians will not be divided. Now the defeat of Cameroon. Now Cameroon they use them for create this noise within the Ambazonian liberation struggle in order for hide the defeat of Cameroon and their proxy groups and within the Ambazonian liberation struggle. Shake no day. Una go take una eye. Una see them as we promise una. When we build the Akamatsu, wait till we tell una. We'll give una 3 months. So we'll go build something with Ambazonian never see them. And we'll present una the Akamatsu for October 2021. I mean for February 2021. Right? We'll build them, we'll show them. The ADF for 2022. Not that ADF for 2021. A different ball game. Because of the vast territory where the general don't focus for liberate them and create safe liberated zones where they now start for implement Ambazonian Transition Authority for give the Ambazonian people their power back that the thing that we fight for. For liberate the land and then you create a space where the people, they feel create a quality of life where they like them. If the land be occupied, the people, they will still remain under occupation. That's why they focus now for liberate the land. They focus now for liberate the land. Now the land be occupied. Ambazonia, na a land, na a piece of land, na a piece of nature. People go die, people go be born, but the land, if you not liberate them, No matter how many generations, just like in the past, the previous generation not be liberate the land. Me and you, they pay the price. Because the land will be liberated. America, na land. Okay? America, na land. Canada, na land. Russia, na land. France, na land. Na the land. Without the land, the people not get a country. That's why AD be focused for the liberation of the land. The purpose now for liberate the land from occupation, from colonialism, from annexation. You liberate the land, and then now you give the people then the power for being able for govern themselves and create a political system where it reflect wetin they want them, where it reflect their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, their inspiration, the things and way how they want to create the life for them for living. Now the thing is where ADF they build and for liberated communities. So when this lockdown will be supposed to start on Sunday, we get a call. I get a call from my office. Say a group of Ambazonian women, they don't call for an emergency meeting. I'll read the message like, what be emergency? What be the emergency about what that they call for? Say they don't call for an emergency meeting. You know, being an executive leadership coach, when you call for a meeting, 2 questions I get for asking. What be this meeting about? What be the purpose of the meeting? I must get clarity first. Okay? Before I dedicate time for talk for a business, for talk for a president, a vice president, or a director of a company, so that you don't waste my time, or for talk for a private personal client, so that I know we'll get on the phone and then we'll just start for talk. I must know where to they want to talk about and why it be important for talk. So this group of women, they call for this meeting. And I be talk say, so look at my like, what's the purpose? I say, when I send me the purpose and then they send me a reader, I say, well, no problem. We already know what they want to talk about. First, one of these women then, he do already go for SCBC. Okay? He do already go for SCBC. He go spend 1 hour, criticize the AGOC, criticize Dr. Ayaba, criticize the ADF, and call we all sort of names. Now, 1 hour later, guess who there for that meeting? Now, the same woman we don't go first, go before SCBC, make a lot of noise about the lockdown, and chastise, criticize, call with all sort of names. So you don't already come out, you go for public, you go kosh, you criticize, you condemn, and then you come out again, you can't call for an emergency meeting. After you don't go for public, right? Very interesting people. Double standard. Hypocrites. If you want to get a meeting with people, you say, okay, something they come up, we want to get an understanding about waiting. Well, we don't yet say the Ambazonia Governing Council don't call for a lockdown. It will be very reasonable. You will send a request, say, look, did I say we never follow the discussion for TV or for social media? I beg, we as Mami them, we would like forget a discussion owner so that when I feel explain them for we the reason for this lockdown owner they call them, we as soon as be known, now 4-day lockdown, right? As would they explain them, the governing council will think of 1 month, and then they can't reason I'm saying a family season, they can't reduce them into 4 days. Right? All will know this one. So this woman, they come for this meeting. After they don't, first of all, go for outside, go do their damage. And then now the one she don't for meeting. So I want to thank this Mami them for what they call them, say, Takumbe. I want to thank them for the meeting with the column, but I want also remind them, as I remind them for that meeting, the Ambazonia Governing Council, I want to make it be very clear for any person and for even Mamide. If you come with respect, we go treat you with respect. If you come as a hypocrite, you go test the truth of the Ambazonia Governing Council. If you come with respect, if you come like Mami, for talk for your picking them, for understand your picking them, for understand what you do, will be a very open, enlightened, civilized, respectful people. The way the egg of sin will take them, in egg of sin will take hypocrites. Egg of sin will take bullshit. Egg of sin will take double standards. For that one, whether you be Mami, when you be Mami and you need to approach your picking them, like picking them, you not be Mami. If you be Mami and you be a hypocrite, you not be Mami. If you be Mami, so this one, the way that they call themselves Takumbe. I asked them a couple of questions, and I want to ask una all Ambazonians. I asked them, say, una they call for emergency meeting because the Ambazonia Governing Council, they don't call for a 4-day lockdown, will be based on strategic national interest for the security of our people them and defense securities. And we don't explain that. I asked them, say, when be the last time when una all this Mami the una don't call this emergency meeting? When be the last time when the IG a call for a lockdown, una call for an emergency meeting? When be the last time when the IG call for a lockdown and una ask Mami them, una say be unreasonable? When be the last time when una call for an emergency meeting? I ask this Mami them. When be the last time when the Cameroon military he enter for villages, he burn an entire village? Una ask Mami them, una call for an emergency meeting? When be the last time? When be the last time Ambazonian Mami them for ground zero, they be killed by the Cameroon military? And as una Mami them for diaspora, una call for an emergency meeting? When be the last time? When be the last time Ambazonian children they be killed by the Cameroon state military? And as Mami them, una call for an emergency meeting? When be the last time? When be the last time where the AROF forces they killed 19 Mami picking them for Oboni, and una as Mami them, una call for an emergency meeting? When be the last time? When they go for Berlin, this same AROF, they killed 69 women, children, young girls, and old people, and old men. When be the last time we una call for an emergency meeting? I hope so you understand the psychology. You understand the hypocrisy for this liberation struggle. Make this message reach for anybody else. As Mamide, we want to call ourselves Takumbe. The egg of Sidon open community schools. When be the last time? Una raise all una money una raise them. Una no place where they go. For 2021, una send 40 million CFA for the Kondengi IG. Una raise 40 million CFA. Una send them for prison. (2022), the money na 48 million for prison for Kondengi IG. This same mami them, when they launch community schools, they not talk say they be mami. They never ever call. So we don't hear say they don't launch community schools. We don't see the community schools. We see picking where they march. Now money this way mami they don't raise them for support community schools. We not get that witch for can hook up, can ask her. We not get right for call for a lockdown. I don't remind this mami them who they call themselves Takumbe. And I tell them openly, the Takumbe is a proxy group of the IG care. They never ever support any other group. May they prove me wrong. If they be mami them for all Ambazonians, make they raise money, September they come. They give them for AGOC for support the hundreds of community schools and the thousands of communities of beginning where they attend community schools. The AGOC they build clinics for liberated communities. If una be Takumbe, I will see una na 2022 this day. Una raise money, talk say we don't hear say una the build clinics for help women who they be pregnant, so that what people feel care for themselves within liberated communities. Now money this will help these communities. But if we want to continue for play the politics, for continue to derail the Ambazonian people then na so we will take una. But if we want to be mami for play the role of nationalist mothers, we go gain, we go earn our respect, and we go earn our pride. But until that time, we go continue, as I already tell you now, unapologetically, because everything we want to do not only for support the Kondengi IG, we want to show the Ambazonian people say the Takumbe is not an IGK proxy group. We want to show we. Until then, so now some of the corny them these, where they scatter our liberation struggle, and then they will talk say, oh, we'll call meeting other leaders. Now other leaders they be called for lockdown. Now AGOC call for lockdown. If you want to get a discussion about the lockdown, you come to the AGOC. Say other leaders. Who be other leaders? What are they leading? Just like I go for Twitter and I see this how they call it, say Bohebe. It call it say be the president of Morisk or chairman of spokesperson of Morisk. Morris don't die. Now only 2 people there for the organization. 2. But they still run around. Say be a leader. What is he leading? And who is he leading? Say leader. What are they leading? What do they provide to the Ambazonian people and to the liberation? What did they provide them? For go she know for some place, say when I want to go negotiate with La Republique du Cameroun through Switzerland, and you call yourself a leader? Say the purpose of your existence, of your movement. I just forgo she don't. Say we go negotiate for a dead process. Where the US don't make me be very clear for all now. Say the process na a dead process for trap the Ambazonian people then. We Cameroon create them for deceive the Ambazonian and the world. Say something they happen. We know nothing will happen. And they know this. They go write some rubbish for Twitter. And I just ask Bohebe, he never still respond to my tweet. Make Bohebe tell the Ambazonian people and the world who he is leading. He's a leader of what? And he's leading on what? He lead now. Maurice don't die. He Cameroon calling, don't die. Ambazonia calling, he don't die. He lead who? And these people will come begin to disturb people and say leaders. A leader of what? In what? The same message go for all now. The day when you call some person leader, ask yourself, what is this person leading? The next time you call some person leader, you check sense. What are they leading? What did they provide to you as a person who is under occupation? What those your leaders that they provide to you as a person who will be occupied, as a person who will face genocide, as a person who will face existential threat? What did they provide to you? When I wake up, I don't repeat them again for now. I need to ever put my hand for something we're not clean. I need to ever put my hand for something we're not straight. I need to ever put my hand for something where I don't know the purpose and I don't know place where to go. My 15 years of training, it gives me a different psychology. The reason I don't study all our leaders. The reason why I choose for work, for support the Ambazonian Governing Council, for render my services to the Ambazonian people, for their liberation through the Ambazonian Governing Council, not because I don't study every single one of our leaders. The Ambazonian Governing Council will give them independence. The Ambazonian Defense Forces, I promise you now, will give them independence. Waiting they don't build them for una for ground. I don't say for una like everything they put for una for social media. Anything they don't build them, create them for una want me to just throw them for social media. We don't behave like that. We now see them. We promise una their Kamatsu, we deliver on our special forces. And it changed the game for una. It changed the talk to the international community. Every other person they make noise. There is no other movement. We don't give una anything on the ground. There is none. None of them will they talk for outside here. They even enter for a diplomatic meeting called the name Ambazonia. I don't she don't meeting with some of them. Like because I don't like to disgrace people them publicly. When they enter diplomatic meeting, most of these people when they call leaders, they be fear for call the name Ambazonia. Nadia, say leaders. Mona not make begin to talk a lot of things that would not be unnecessary for the year. They know themselves. That's why they fear ASU. That's why they fear Capo. Because as they don't buy most of them, They don't like people where they speak truth. They don't like people where they be focused. They don't like people where they stand on principles and on nationalism. That's why they fear. When I hear they make all that, tell them they can't face me personally. Tell them they get my number. All them they get my number. If you get a problem, call me. If AGOFC, people that like this other one when they call it Sikot, I actually feel sorry for it. You don't come up from one IG to the next. It come out from this force to the next. Anything we don't touch them, we don't scatter. Just like Sako, anything they don't touch them, they don't scatter. Just like Mark Barretta. All these failed activists, anything they touch them, we don't scatter. So, they say, oh, well, if AGOFC for just move Asuyi and Capo, AGOFC for they fine. We don't know why. Okay, we don't know why. Because they know say we stand for defend the nationalism of our people them. We stand for defend the institution. We stand for defend our forces. We stand for defend our people their rights. They know. They know. That's why they fear. Guess what? As I don't already tell now, shake no day. All these proxies, okay, and there are small groups of proxy activists. You take all them, you bring them all together. Over the last 5 years, we don't show them the difference between emptiness and substance. Okay? They recruit all sorts of people who will defeat Cameroon and we will still defeat all of them as they don't become irrelevant. Some of them now don't go remain for Twitter. they only run on tweets. Alright? When wind blow left, they go left. When wind blow right, they go right. Or then they wait. They shouldn't wait. They don't become Fumba Knights. They be the wait, make Macron go there. Make Macron go, make Macron. Or then they be the right. Say, Mr. Macron, when you go, move go free president for jail. That one be being at their last cap. After Macron come, he disappoint all them. Now story don't change. We not get hope. We not only get that one chance. We not get one hope. One chance and one hope. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, the lion of Ambazonia. The man we don't make La République and the international system don't shake. He don't stand for what you want to ask him. He don't make a promise for una. He don't make a commitment for una. The forces, they don't take an oath. For be an ADF fighter, you must take an oath. For be an ADF fighter, you must take an oath. A solemn oath. For be an official of the Ambazonia Governing Council, you must take an oath. For liberate the land. For free the people. You must make a commitment and take an oath. For liberate the land and for free the people then. That's why we be the gate between Cameroon and the Ambazonian people then. The team way in the whole Cameroon from taking back over Ambazonia and the Ambazonia Governing Council. Cameroon know that one. una hopes if una go get free total, if una go get complete independence, if una go get complete freedom, economic, political, educational, judicial, and even financial in terms of currency, the Ambazonia Governing Council will deliver una a true, democratic, transparent state will be corruption free. For that one, you know, they say I'm from the forces to the political leadership. So people feel make the fee go up, they come down. Lastly, this one be very important for Ground Zero. There will be zero tolerance in the conduct of our forces when you violate the laws of the land. I'll repeat them again. There will be zero tolerance in the conduct of our forces when you disobey the law of the land. Ambazonia will be Cameroun. The ADF not been a hired forces. The National Liberation Army for enforce the laws of the land, the laws of the liberation, protect the sovereignty of Ambazonia. So there will be zero tolerance. If na lockdown, na lockdown. All right? If na lockdown, na lockdown. You get your part for playing. The forces get their part for playing. You get your part for playing. The forces get their part for playing. If you think say the forces they carry the liberation on their own, you be mistaken. Now hear me fine. If you think say you don't leave the liberation for the forces their hand because Cameroon don't deceive all una. Cameroon and their proxy group them, they don't spoil una heads. Confuse una. If you don't want to learn through the education we provide them for una, the truth we provide them for una, the inspiration and the hope we provide them for una, if you don't want to learn that way, then ADF, it will show you the hard way. If you don't want to learn through truth, honesty, through hopes and inspiration, if you don't want to learn that way, the ADF, it will make you get the Ambazonian sense in the hard way. If you don't want to honor the liberation and honor your own life and the freedom we will fight for, if you don't want to honor them, ADF will put sense to your head. I know say in the last 5 years, all these Cameroon proxy groups in the name of government where they don't create them for una, where they don't destroy una. ADF, it go put sense back, it go put nationalism back for una head. From the confusion, go straight to una head. But if you don't want to make your head be straight, if you don't want to follow nationalism and a sense of commitment to the liberation, then you go follow on for the hard way. Our forces get a zero tolerance policy. Forces no go to fight for liberate you. And then you will come out. You think say life be normal. You think it's in a normal time. And you feel go anywhere, anytime. The land be under occupation. And would go through a genocide and a war. Behave yourself. Respect basic things when it comes to the liberation. If you don't respect basic things you go respect them in a painful way. My message is on for today. We'll talk more. All right? When I stay fine, may God bless you now. If you not get anything If you want to know something, you get a question, you want to make a commitment, you want to make contribution to the liberation struggle for armed forces for the liberation, una contact me. I go direct una to the AGovC Financial Department and any place we did for this world. Like now we don't, as una know, we lost 11 forces. Those forces, they died for your name. They died because they fight for you. They died because they make a commitment for liberate you. We owe these forces. They get woman them. They get picking them. Contact me. Ask PS ASO how I fit support a woman where one of these forces they leave am behind. How I fit support or care for the picking them with these fighters, forces. They leave them behind because they fight for you. They die for you. Those forces, they defend the land for you. They die for your name. Which if you do for the other forces, then will they still be alive? Will they still fight for you? Which if you do for a woman where they leave them behind? For a pikin where they leave them behind? Which if you do? Una contact me. Una get my phone number. Una good night.